ASAP, ASAP. ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. Hey, hey, you niggas better exit ASAP, 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 got the mind and the muscle, pay the carats and the crown just to shine on you something. Still told the block 40 for the haters and the bust. Fuck probation if a nigga try to play me, I'ma bust him. I don't need no security, reaching for my jewelry. Get your niggas pop quick, feel full of hot shit. Fresh out the box till hot, till it drop 6. Made a $250,000 in the pen, getting stock till. Haters wanna stop till, mad cause they not till. Ball every summer so your baby mama drop till. You don't want no drama, pimp, I promise I do not slip. Chrome 4/5, yeah, well, if the cops trip. Off a girl a Hummer with the chrome right in front of that. 5 carat stone with the platinum all up under that. Rap beat, I ain't gonna participate in none of that. I'm aiming at your titty cap, and you ain't gonna want none of that. A nigga try to play me, I'ma blow him off the mouth, ASAP. Ask anybody who running AG, bet they finna say me, ASAP. Niggas hating on VSC, get straight ASAP. Niggas try to play me, I'ma blow him off the mouth, ASAP. I know a lot of rappers don't like me, but they won't fight me. They swear I sell dope, but why they wanna guide me? Passes on the phone, I ain't never taking life. But all that tongue wrestling hating while I'm gone, don't excite me. How many rappers you know that can hold they on the right street? He stay talking on the cell phone nightly. Normal population, half the jail just like me. Police just think I'm crazy, scared a nigga gon' strike. Contrarily, a nigga trying me is unlikely. They barking, don't bother me, I be bombing before they bite me. Nigga shot to see my raps exactly how my life be. Shiesty, with a conversation quite priceless. My fist so rocky and my wrist so icy. Might be thrown off my rocket just slightly. Feisty, claiming hot temper, don't ignite me. I'm only gonna ask you find the answer once polite. A nigga try to play me, I'ma blow him off the mouth, ASAP. Ask anybody who running AG, bet they finna say me, ASAP. Niggas hating on VSC, get straight ASAP. Niggas try to play me, I'ma blow him off the mouth, ASAP. Come to the land of the people, my plan is to keep you at least 2 levels under me where I need you. I'ma take advantage of my chance to defeat you. True colors to show ass on when I see you. I'm gone, nigga, so let it be known we ain't equal. You're sadly mistaken if you're thinking I can't reach you. Beat you to a fucking pump if I need to. The very spot you're standing in, then is where I leave you. Seen on the scene, white tees and diesels. OG status, I don't beef unless I need to. Since you ain't out of line and you running out of time, hang behind closed door when you heard I got some time. Yeah, I know you were thinking out of sight and out of mind, but I'm the wrong one for you to try if you were trying to shine. And listen, nigga, this shit here is more than just a lot of rhymes. I don't know what you do for your respect, but I'ma die for mine. A nigga try to play me, I'ma blow him off the mouth, ASAP. Ask anybody who running AG, bet they finna say me, ASAP. Niggas hating on VSC, get straight ASAP. Niggas try to play me, I'ma blow him off the mouth, ASAP. ASAP, ASAP,
All right, what's up, people? I see we got I like that little countdown timer. Got 44 people watching right now. Hold on. Sorry, this is a bootleg studio. Y'all got to do it how I do it. So got about 42 people watching right now. Go ahead and go down in the bottom left of your screen and hit the share button because somebody might need to hear this. I was taking some messages earlier on my page just a little while ago, and I got another one. Like my messages keep going off, and it's people in the old Suboxone tapering video commenting and asking questions, and that was from like 4 months ago. So I figured it was time to do it again. Let me roll through some of these comments right here real quick. Let's see, my buddy Pat's in here. What's up, Lily? What's up, Alan? What's up, Paris? Ronnie, 9 days clean off Suboxone. That's what's up. Yeah, everybody go down and please share. Let's see if we can get some more people in here. I'd like to see it get up around 100 people. But so I just got done speaking with this person. I won't use their name on my Facebook page. And they were asking me what they can do to get off of Suboxone. Been on it for a couple years. What can I do about this? Hey, Mary, how are you? And then after I said, you know, we're going to have to look for you a medical detox and a recovery program or a treatment facility, they said, nah, I think I'm going to do it on my own on my couch. So I invited them over to the page to look at some of the visitor posts and some of the visitor comments. And I was hoping some of you all that have experience with Suboxone and coming off of Suboxone can come in here like, look, Melissa just said Suboxone was hell for me. I understand completely. It was absolute hell for me also. And I was hoping some of you people could come in here and share your experience with Suboxone and tell people how you got off of it or what you had to go through to get off of it. So everybody go down again and what's up, Wesley? Super Sober Sunday. I like it. That's where I'm at. I got my girls are over here playing right now, making a mess out of my studio. So again, I've got a lot of people wanting to couch surf the Suboxone detox and talking about tapering. So all I can give you is my experience. And Maria says, worse than kicking dope. I absolutely agree. Suboxone was meant to be used for like 5 to 7 days, something like that. We got about 80 viewers right now. Y'all go ahead and reshare. Suboxone was meant to be used on pregnant women, you know, because you can get morphine drips and all that type of stuff. It was created for that, and it was meant to be used 5 to 7 days. And with no further testing, no kind of test on polysubstance abusers, people that are addicted to, you know, heroin, Xanax, meth. If you're like me and you'll take anything you can get your hands on, it was never tested on those type of people, on polysubstance abusers. Somebody just turned around one day and said, hey, let's give this to heroin addicts. Let's give it to addicts. And I took it. I went through a process where I took Suboxone, and then I decided I was going to quit. So I'm going to tell you all how I tapered. This is not medical advice by any means. You should always be in a medical or non-medical detox and be around people that can help you, that can check your blood pressure, and that can take care of you while you're coming off of this. It is not safe to do it at home alone. I have to stress that, y'all. You need fluids. You're going to need food. You're going to need vitamins. You're going to need a lot of stuff. Let's see. Adam says, Suboxone helped me get my life back and back to work, but boy, what a battle to get off of it. That's the problem, Adam. Here's the thing. If Suboxone blocks opiates, right? It blocks heroin and it blocks you from overdosing. Here's the big question everybody should be asking of Suboxone clinics and Suboxone doctors is, why not use Suboxone the way it was meant to be used? 5 to 7 days, taper down, walk off of it, and then switch to Vivitrol or naltrexone, another blocker. So the Vivitrol shot, it can be kind of expensive, so they have naltrexone, an oral version of it. Why not switch to one of those? So 7-day taper off of Suboxone, then switch to Vivitrol or naltrexone. What is the attraction to the highly addictive substance, Suboxone? Why do they want you on the one that's very hard to get off of? And what is the attraction to it? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what it is. It gets you high. It has street value. And then there's the money involved. If you get hooked on Suboxone for 4 years, you're worth a lot more money than somebody that would come in and use it for 7 days and then switch to Vivitrol or naltrexone. So Vivitrol and naltrexone, they perform the same task. You get the same result out of it. If you go relapse and you overdose, or if you go relapse and you shoot up, Vivitrol and naltrexone will protect you from overdose. The same as Suboxone, but you're not addicted to it. And again, it was never tested on poly substance abusers. So you have people like myself that went to a clinic, took Suboxone, and then it got too expensive, so I started buying it off the street. You can always buy Suboxone off the street, but go to a dope dealer and ask them if they can get you Vivitrol or Naltrexone. They're not going to know what you're talking about. And there's a reason for that. You can't get high off of it. There's no addictive property to it. Why would you sell someone something that would get rid of your customer, so to speak? Same thing going on with a lot of these clinics out here, whether they're crooked or just uneducated or don't know any better. The same thing is going on. So what I did, and this is, please reshare this, go down and reshare this, because if you're on Suboxone or considering it or trying to get off of it or whatever, this is the most important part right here. Whenever people talk about surfing it out at home, again, highly dangerous and very unsuccessful. Tell you what I did. I was on Suboxone for about 4 years, and then I started taking, I had the tablets. The little, yeah, Mary, we got over 100 people. There was 120 in here a minute ago. Yes, Melissa just said, Suboxone was my cup of joe. It got me going. Exactly. Swapping one for another. So here's what I did. Excuse me. I was on the little 8 milligram wafers, right? And I would take and break it in half. And I would take 4 milligrams in the morning and 4 milligrams at night. And that would get me through a day. And, you know, but before that, I was on 16 milligrams. So I'd take 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And then I lowered it down to where I was taking just 8 milligrams a day. And I got from 16 to 8 this same method right here. But let's say when I was on 8, I would take half of it in the morning, put it under my tongue, and then at night take the other 4 milligrams. Then eventually, after a couple weeks or whatever it was, I would take the 4 milligrams in the morning and 2 milligrams at night. And then I could go to sleep, so I didn't really have to experience any withdrawal or anything like that. I would wake up and take my next 4 milligram dose. So 4 milligrams in the morning, 2 at night. Then I switched that to 2 milligrams in the morning. And maybe I had a couple of slow days. I don't really remember being that sick. 2 milligrams in the morning and 2 at night. And then eventually I would take away that night dose. So now, after a period of time, I don't remember how long it was, maybe a month, instead of being on 16 milligrams, I was on 2 milligrams every morning. So what I started doing was, I would take, and again, I'm not suggesting you all do this. This is how I did it. I would take that wafer and I'd put it in a cellophane and smash it. And then I was just dipping my finger in the dust and putting it under my tongue every morning. So sometimes maybe 1 milligram in the morning. And if I needed to, when I was doing that, I would take a little more dust at night and put it under my tongue. So maybe less than 1 milligram or so in the morning, and then maybe a milligram or so at night under my tongue. And then again, I took away the night dose. So now I was at a point where I could wake up every day and just barely stick my finger in the Suboxone dust and put it under my tongue, and I was fine for 24 hours. And then here's the important thing. I got down that low, y'all. I was that determined. I didn't care if I got sick during the process. Even though I didn't get sick, I didn't care. I wanted off of it so bad that I got down to that little bit of dust in the morning, and then I made a plan, and I did what a lot of people out there are talking about doing right now. I was like, okay, I'm going to call in work Friday, take off Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday's a holiday. So that gives me 4 days right there, and I should be back up on my feet at work on Tuesday, right? Wrong. Off of that little bit of dust, I went into full-blown withdrawal the next day after I stopped. And I wrote out those 4 days, and then I would eventually, I thought I was going to get up and go back to work, and I thought that I would be able to just come off of it, go to work, and maybe be a little tired or something. That wasn't the case at all. So I went back on the little bit of dust each day. Eventually, I lost that job, and my mother and my father and them were supplementing my income, so I didn't have to go to work. And I was like, okay, now's the time then. I had it all laid out. I had it all planned up of how I'm going to come off this Suboxone. So I was taking a little dust, putting it under my tongue, and then I stopped. So less than 1 milligram a day, y'all. And on day 45 of that detox, I gave up. I made it 45 days, y'all. We're talking 6 weeks, all right, that I made it through withdrawal. It was awful. Dehydrated, skinny as all hell. I couldn't eat, diarrhea, you name it. And I tried to do it at home like that. And people were stopping by my house, trying to take care of me, trying to take, trying to help me out. And on day 45, I gave up. I called somebody I know. They brought by some Suboxone, and I went right back on the little bit of dust. So I'm not going to go into detail about how I got off of the Suboxone altogether because I think it's irresponsible. I can tell you this, though. I switched back to pain pills. I found a way to get pain pills. I switched back to those for 90 days and let the Suboxone leave my system, and then went to a detox and came off of the painkillers. I don't suggest anyone do that. There is a way around it now. There are medical detoxes out there that will treat your symptoms. So they will taper you off of Suboxone for 4 days, let's say, and then they will use non-addictive medication to treat your symptoms and walk you off of the Suboxone. Then, should you just so decide, they will give you Vivitrol or naltrexone to keep you and protect you from an overdose, doing the harm reduction, right? And you're not addicted to it anymore. That's the hit. So I tried to at-home detox off of Suboxone numerous times. Never was I successful. So, and this, everybody's different, I guess, but let me tell you something. If you're one of the ones that's like, all right, I'm going to take my 7-day vacation from work, I'm going to come off of Suboxone, and on day 8 when I go back to work, I should be able to make it through the week. I'm here to tell you, you are living in a delusion, and I'm making this video right now, and I'm having people comment on it so you can go read the comments and understand what it is you're about to put yourself through. So now I'm going to go to some of the comments right here and take a look. Let's see what people are talking about. Robert King says that don't work with subs. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm sure he means the couch surf. Lily says I tapered off myself, but even after I took my last dose, I was sick for about 15 days and still have side effects. It's been 3 years. Yeah, you can. I don't have those side effects like that anymore. I take supplements. I do light exercise. There's a product that I use called Synaptamine. You can't order it on my website anymore, but I can get a link and post it in here. And then there's theliquidrecovery.com. It's the same vitamins. They have an AM and a PM formula. Whenever you take the Liquid Recovery AM formula, it gives you all the vitamins and amino acids you need to get through a day. And then also the PM formula helps you sleep, and that stuff really works. So that's what I use right now. Let's see. Christy says, I'm down to 2 milligrams from 8 milligrams, but afraid to eliminate it altogether. That's what I'm saying, Christy. You need to be in the care of a detox, right? And I know, I get it. I hear it all the time. People are like, there's no way I can leave my kids, or there's no way I can miss work. Man, there's FMLA laws that protect you, so your job can't fire you. You got to stop focusing on what you can't do and start focusing on what you can do. You can make a plan and say, all right, in 30 days from now, I'm going to be at this point. At 60 days from then, or now, I'm going to be at this point. And at 90 days from now, I'm going to enter the medical detox and do the 7 days, and then do the 30-day recovery or treatment program, whatever you select. You can make a plan to do all that stuff and execute it, just like we made plans, or I made plans to, like, all right, I'm going to take a week off work and I should be good by the time I get back. That was delusional thinking. So I'm going to go through some of this right here. Yeah, Blake is in here. What's up, Blake? That's the CEO of the Liquid Recovery right there. Y'all, Blake can help you order that stuff, or Blake runs a treatment facility. He can help you with that too. Melissa said she dropped down to 87 pounds. Erica, any tips on methadone taper? I personally don't have any tips on methadone taper. Now, there is a guy in here right now that went to a non-medical detox and came off of 80 milligrams of methadone, and in 7 days he was back on his feet. He was moving around. You can actually go to my website. It's at jamessweezy.com and click on Brandon's story, and there's a few videos in there, and there's some text in there showing, and you can see him 7 days after he entered detox and stopped taking. You can see him at, I think, 30 or 90 days in, something like that. You can see how he's feeling and hear him talk and stuff like that. So maybe that'll give you a shot of hope. I, again, would consult whoever you're getting the methadone from about tapering down and coming off of it. and then a medical detox would be in order, I would believe. Now, non-medical detox works too. Don't get me wrong. But Suboxone is a different animal. I'm going to suggest medical detox if you want to be highly. That's if you've been on it for a very long time. I'm not saying non-medical won't work, but I do have access to a medical detox. You can send me a message at the top of my page. Erica says I want off. Well, that's what we're here for. That's why we're talking about this. You can send me a message at the top of my page. There is a phone number that it will hit you back with, and you can call that number. That's my buddy Justin. We work together on this page and all that, and we'll see if we can get you some help. Melissa says she cut her arms open because she couldn't handle the way she felt on Suboxone withdrawal. I agree. Lily says recovery is possible. Jacob says the best way is cold turkey so you remember the pain. You know, I feel that. I did cold turkey pain pills and cold turkey heroin, but the fact is 6 weeks or 8 weeks or even 12 weeks. I've heard of one person that's still in withdrawal after 7 months and refuses to take anything. 7 months, y'all, still in bed from long-term shooting up Suboxone and stuff like that. 7 months. So there comes a point where you have to ask for help. And yes, it's good to feel the pain of getting your ass kicked so you remember it. But who can lay in bed for months at a time like that? I can't do it. I tried it, made it 6 weeks, like I said. Maria says, what about Thorazine, I believe? I'm not sure what that is. I would have to look that up. Melissa says, it took me months to feel even somewhat normal. So y'all hearing that, y'all listen to what I'm saying. There's 127 people watching right now. Melissa is in here talking about right now, it took her months to even feel a little bit normal. Now, I know people that go to medical detox that have been on Suboxone for long term, and they feel fine after they come out of medical detox. They're tired. Then they go through a treatment facility or a recovery program that teaches them how to deal with their brain fog and their teaches them how to live differently. And they're living good after a month. They didn't get sick. It just takes a little time to get everything running again, right? But surfing it out over the weekend on the couch, it's not going to work. Let me go on and tell you that. Let's see. Donna says, how long taper off methadone? I would, it depends on the dose you're on. Excuse me, I got some kind of cold going on. Depends on the dose you're on. And then I would consult the people giving it to you unless you're on it on your own. And then again, medical detox, you can come right off of it unless you're on like over 80 milligrams or something like that. Jason says, I have mad respect for you. Yeah, Jason, I can't support that. That stuff's about to be illegal and we don't know what's in it. I'm not into substituting one drug for another. I have no experience with that, so... James says Suboxone is way worse than dope withdrawal. I agree. I've been telling everybody about that. Erica asked something I don't even know what that word is, Erica, so I can't comment on it. Maybe somebody in here can. There's Blake posting the link to the liquidrecovery.com. You can use my discount code GURU, G-U-R-U. You can use that to get free shipping. That'll help you out a little bit. Let's see. Tanya says you must go to treatment. Only thing that worked for me. You can detox is hell without recovery until you never learn to stay clean. That's right. That person I was speaking to earlier said, they're like, I've detoxed off of pain pills. I've detoxed off of heroin. I've detoxed off of methadone. I think I can detox off of this Suboxone. My thing is, why do you keep having to detox off of stuff over and over and over again? It's because the problem is in our thinking. The problem is in how we make decisions that we keep going back on dope. And until you get somewhere that can teach you how to change your thinking. I mean, think about it, guys. After 10, 15, 20 years of your brain learning this behavior, it's like when I don't feel well, I need to take this substance to make me feel better. 10, 15, 20 years of training your brain to use alcohol or dope every time you don't feel good. And then you're just going to erase that over the weekend while you do a Suboxone taper and go back to work feeling like pure dog shit? No, it don't work that way. I'm sorry. Maybe it has for some people, but no, I don't see it. I got, 50,000 followers, and rarely do I get a message like, hey, dude, never actually have I got a message that says, hey, dude, I surfed off of dope over the weekend, and I'm back to work, and I'm fine. Never seen it. Let's see. Greg says, I went to treatment and got off methadone. Still had about 21 days of withdrawal. Dropped 35 pounds, but it was worth it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see. Adam says, I stopped 2 milligrams a day. I continued to work, but it was about 45 days of pure hell. But 4 to 5 years clean from Suboxone and painkillers. Totally worth it. Jamie says, very hard to do it without support. I agree. Could not agree more. Lily, get that liquid recovery. Erica, Brandon's story. It's at www.jamessweezy.com at my website. Just type my name in.com. Maddie says, what are your thoughts on Kratom? I know that the place that I went through and the place I attended does not support it. You can get kicked out for taking it. Who knows who's packaging that stuff? If it's taken out of a plant somewhere overseas, who knows how they're packaging and what they're doing with it? I mean, is there industrial fertilizer and chemicals and stuff on the floor and they're sweeping up all the Kratom into a pile? No telling what it's mixed with over time. And, people are shooting that shit up. And I'm just telling you, I do not support it. There's other ways around it instead of taking something like that. Because here's the thing with Kratom that I have seen. The only experience I have with it is people that I know that take it get sick when they stop taking it. So I'm not going to recommend that. Thorazine, Maria says, I guess that's what she's... Can you overdose taking subs with benzos? Heather, I'm going to go ahead and say you can overdose taking anything with anything. You can overdose on weed nowadays because of the how potent it is. Can Suboxone cause headaches? Absolutely, Alan. I had some of the worst headaches, but that's what that liquid recovery does. It helps get rid of my headaches. Blake says, my stomach wasn't normal for 8 months after subs. That is true. Let's see. Mary says, good night, guys, 3 a.m. Mary's in Australia, if I remember that correctly. Thanks for tuning in, Mary. Let's see. Amy says, I'm struggling. Please pray for me. Amy, send somebody a message. Go to, hold on. Let's see. I got this. I found this. I don't know. It's going to be backwards for y'all, ain't it? It says In the Rooms with an S. intherooms.com. I met those guys when I was down in Florida. I saw their office. And it's kind of like a social media site but it's for people in recovery. But just like anywhere you go on social media, any meeting you go to, stick with the winners. Be careful where you go and who you talk to. And if Amy, I would suggest talking to females and getting a female sponsor. Jason says, fair enough. I appreciate that, Jason. I've never taken it, and I don't have any experience with it, but I've seen people get sick on it. So I appreciate you understanding. Jenny says she's learning so much right now. Being educated and being informed is a beautiful thing. It is. That's the thing, y'all. That's why I do a 12-step program. And the biggest thing is this: learning what's wrong with you so you can then learn what to do about it. That's the biggest part of the battle, is understanding, why do I keep going back to it? I hear the people, I've detoxed off this, and that, and the other. Well, if you detox off of it and it was that easy to quit, you can't sit there and tell me I've detoxed off 5 different things and this weekend I'm going to go beat Suboxone and I'll be good. That's delusional thinking. Why do you keep picking up? If you can just walk off of it and be done with it, why didn't you do that the first time? I'm not beating up on anybody. That's just what it is. I tried all the same stuff. I'm just hoping I can put that in your all's mind and help you to understand that after all those years of programming your brain to pick up a substance when you don't like the way you feel, it's going to take time to reprogram your brain the other way, and you need to be around people that can help you do that. Let's see. Who else is in here? Anthony says, stinking thinking. That's exactly what it is. Brittany says, what is liquid recovery? Brittany, liquid recovery is just vitamins that are found in every day in nature, but they're in the right dose, so you don't have to do guesswork, like buy a multivitamin and buy something for sleep and buy something for this and that and the other and mix it together or not. It's all laid out for you. You put 1 scoop in the water, whoop, drink it, you're done. And you can use, it's at theliquidrecovery.com. Blake's posting his link in there right now. And I tell you what, I sleep like a baby off of that stuff, and then I don't wake up groggy. I love it. Let's see. Beverly says, nothing changes, nothing changes. We have to change our thinking. Yes, that is absolutely it, y'all. In some of the material we read, it says bottles or alcohol and narcotics are just symptoms. That it's like whenever you're sick, you don't just have a bad case of the sneezies or something. There's a virus inside you or a bacteria or something that makes you sick. When you're sick with alcoholism, you don't just have alcohol is not the problem. Drugs are not the problem. It's only a problem once you put it in you and once you take it. Now, how do you stop yourself from wanting to take it? That's the big one, and you need to get around people that can show you how to do that. Where else are we at in here? Star says Subutex question mark. Yes, same stuff. I think Subutex does not have. I think Subutex is the one that you can actually shoot up. So why would they have one that you can't shoot up and then release one that you can shoot up? What the hell is that? Y'all know what time it is. Let's see. Samantha says, is liquid recovery, will it help detox off of pain pills? Any kind of vitamin like that's going to help your body, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should take liquid recovery and go detox on your couch. Ask the CEO, Blake. He's in this thread right now. Ask him if you should do it. I'm sure he will. I know Blake will tell you the same thing. You need to be in a safe place where they can check your blood pressure and get you hydrated and stuff like that. Do not buy supplements and then go hit the couch. It don't work that way, y'all. That is just another tool to put in the toolbox to help you sleep or help you combat fatigue. That's it. Let's see. Where are we at? Fort Pierce, Florida, tapering from Suboxone now. That's good, Kara. If you're down there in Florida, that's where our treatment facility is. You can message me at the top of the page, and we can talk about see if we can get you in somewhere. And I don't care if people go to the treatment facility that I'm affiliated with or another good one. I won't recommend someone go to a place that I know nothing about. But there's plenty of them down there. Blake works at one. RJV works at one. I work at one. I don't even have to mention the name. So any of these guys can help you find a good place to go that's not just in it for your insurance money or whatever. Beverly's asking, what is liquid recovery? Go look below your comment, Beverly. There's Blake Evan. He's the CEO, and you can go to his page. Star says, what are your thoughts on Subutex? Same thing. That stuff has not been tested for long-term use. Yeah, all right. Alan says Subutex is the same thing as Suboxone, but no blocker. So, why, again, why not put the blocker in it? I thought the whole point was harm reduction and all that stuff. So you can go take Subutex, and if you relapse, you can still overdose. That's what I'm reading. Matt says, currently taking subs to get off heroin, but I can't stand the thought of trading one for another. I can feel myself needing it rather than using it to get off heroin. That's exactly it. If you look in some of the recovery material in 12-step programs, it talks about the phenomenon of craving. Once you go through detox, the cravings are over. It is, you might be physically beat up and your brain says, oh, I don't feel good, so take dope. That is a mental obsession. Every time you put drugs or alcohol in your body, you set the craving off again. So if you're taking Suboxone daily, you're constantly setting off the craving. And yes, you need it. Stop taking it, and you'll find out that you have to have it to live. And I didn't want to live that way no more, y'all. I'm just telling y'all. Let's see. Where are we at? Starlina, I hope I'm saying that right, says, were you ever in methadone treatment? Yes, I was. I was on methadone for a good amount of time. There was a clinic here in Louisville, Kentucky at DuPont Circle. I went in there, and I was on methadone. I think at the time I was on maybe 30 or 40 milligrams a day. And I went to the director and the doctor, my counselor and all them, and they're all sitting in this room. And I was like, hey, man, I want to try to go down 1 milligram a week so I can come off of this stuff. And they told me no and said I wasn't ready. I'm almost 4 years clean and sober right now, and I did it without their help. So who are they to tell me that I wasn't ready? So yes, I was on methadone treatment, and I walked away from it. And don't get me wrong, I used and got very sick. And when I walked away from it, I used dope after that. But I wasn't about to sit in a place where they would not help me come off of it. I didn't understand that, and I still don't. So, yeah, fuck them. I'm over here clean and sober. I don't take nothing. Been clean 4 months and still think about it, but nothing good though anymore. Yeah. Thoughts don't get you high. Thoughts don't get you drunk. It takes action to get high and drunk. You know, you have to get up. You have to wake up or whatever you're doing, you have to make the decision to get high. You have to go get your money out or go find some money, get money out of the bank, whatever. You have to go find the dope. You have to find the person that has the dope or drive to the liquor store. You have to hand those people your money. They then hand you dope back. Then you have to go somewhere and ingest it or shoot it or whatever you do. There's a lot of action involved in getting high, just like there's a lot of action involved in staying clean and sober. And that's what the 12-step program does for me. It gives me other actions to do. When my brain says, all right, get up and start taking these action steps to get high, there's other action steps in place I can do to get rid of that thought and that obsession. Again, that's why surfing it out on the couch is not the best. It don't work. Let me just tell you that. Abby says, no way would I take Subutex. I'm glad to hear that. Violet says you can shoot Subutex. I have a friend who's prescribed 3 a day and shoots them all. It's not good. Do you see what I mean? You go to these places and say, I need help. And then they give you dope. It's, yeah. Go ask a dope dealer if they have Vivitrol or naltrexone. You're not going to find it. Uh-oh. My kids are screaming, y'all. Something bad may happen. Let's go see. Alan says Subutex does not have an opioid blocker. All right, I'm going to read this. Hold on, let me find my kids. Blake said, I'm going to read this statement from Blake. What are y'all doing? Help you what? Y'all look at this. Look. Why are y'all tearing the drawers out? What are you doing? All right, anyway. Blake says, this is the CEO of the liquidrecovery.com. He says, the Liquid Recovery is not a detox supplement. Nothing replaces a safe medical detox. Liquid Recovery was made to be geared towards helping people to improve post-acute withdrawal syndrome. So that's the CEO telling y'all right now, if he was just in it for the money, or if we only did Liquid Recovery ads for money, why would we sit there and tell you, do not try to do it this way? You need other help. You know what I'm saying? These supplements are just a tool to put in the toolbox. You know what I'm saying? And that's the CEO right there. And I love the Liquid Recovery. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to sit here and tell people that, oh, hey, just quit and surf it out and take some of this stuff while you're on the couch. You'll be good. That's bullshit. It don't work that way. Let's see. TC, what's up? TC was wanting to talk about Suboxone more. I remember seeing that in one of the radio station feeds, I believe. For all y'all that don't know, if you go to recoveryradio.fm on Facebook, you can follow, and every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live on the radio and live on Facebook, and we discuss stuff like this. So, what if you're out of state? Can someone like me get in without insurance? Yes, Frank, there are ways around that type of stuff. You can get into places. I didn't have any insurance or anything when I found my place. But you can also sign up for Obamacare, the Medicaid, the free insurance. You can sign up for that stuff. And then there's medical detoxes that take it. But let me tell you this, you're going to need a treatment facility or a recovery place to go to after that, because even though it's medical detox, getting off of it, that's part of it, but staying off of it's the battle. So Abby says thank you, you're welcome. Mindy says she's been on it for years but never once abused it. That's good, but when you stop taking it is when the problem is. Now, if you want to be on it for the rest of your life, then you're winning. But I didn't want to. I wanted to wake up in the morning and not have to reach for a baggie or a cellophane or a bottle or something like that. I wanted to wake up and drink some Colombian coffee and go on about my day. That's what I do. Let's see. Melissa says, I went to the ER crying and withdrawals, sick, begging for help. I was looked at and treated like a drug addict. Was told to go to rehab. I was on welfare, couldn't afford it. My girls are up here throwing a fit, y'all. Look at this one. Oh, no. Come here. All right. Look. Who is that? Who is that? Oh, goodness. All right, Ashley, come on. Hold on, y'all. I got to lay this one down for a nap. Ashley, feed it. Come on. Y'all are up here destroying everything. Sorry, y'all. I'll get back to the Suboxone talk here in just a second. All right, where are we at? Jamie says, got kicked out of inpatient rehab in Ohio for going to another doctor. You know any good programs in Ohio and group? I don't understand that message, but you're asking me if I know of any other programs in Ohio. I know Ohio is one of those areas that don't have a whole lot of places to go. I get a lot of messages from there. Go to www.intherooms, with an S, intherooms.com, and start asking people in there. And if you were in an inpatient rehab, yeah, they would kick you out for going to another doctor. That would make sense. Why, if you're in an inpatient rehab, and no offense, I'm just saying, why are you going to see doctors? That would probably look like you're doctor shopping or trying to get some pills. That might be why they did that. But you can message me at the top of the page. Maybe we can find you a place. Sorry, y'all, I had a call coming in. Jenny says, what is your 4-year clean date? That would be January 11th coming up. So, God willing, I will make it to January 11th, and I will have 4 years. So, my sobriety date is January 11th, 2013. Let's see. Starlina says, in your opinion, is sub just as hard to detox off as methadone? I'm going to say worse. It's worse than methadone. Mindy says you have to want to help yourself. That's true. I can't do it for you. The biggest thing, y'all, that is frustrating about what I do is people will message me and ask for help. And then I say, here's how you do it. Boom, boom, boom. Here's a roadmap to success. And they go, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it XYZ way. So it's like you're calling me, asking me how to get off of this because I've been through it. I've successfully come off of it. And you want to know how I did it. And you want me to help you, but then you want to tell me how to do it. Turn around and say, oh, well, I'm going to do it on my couch, and I'll be back to work on Tuesday. I'll be all right, won't I? No. And recovery is not about sparing your feelings. I'm going to tell you the truth. You keep playing like this, it's just going to prolong it. But I did it too. I ain't mad at nobody. I'm just saying, when I get the messages and people say, hey, tell me, help me, please help me do this. And then they turn around and try to change the roadmap I gave them and say, well, I'm going to do it this, that, and the other way. Okay, but Mike, my sponsor, says, good luck with that. Just don't drink or get high, and let me know how it worked out for you. Let's see. TC, where are you at? That's a long message. I can't get in. I can't read it all. I'd have to hit the thing. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to my daughter. Yeah, that was Gracie, the one that was crying. Then Ashlyn's over here right now, just kind of walking around. Where are we at? Crystal says, my doctor told me I wasn't ready for 6 years. If I didn't take action myself, I probably would have been on subs the rest of my life. That's what I'm talking about. I wish you would call the radio show and discuss that with us. You go to recoveryradio.fm and follow the page, and we go live every Tuesday and Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I wish you would call the radio show and talk to us about that. That's the type of stuff I'm wanting to expose. Blake said he's got to go. Somebody just passed away. He just got word of it. I'm sorry, Blake, man. Good luck. We'll be in touch. Let's see. Starlene is asking if I ever tried naltrexone or Vivitrol. No, I didn't know about it because people are not educating you to try Vivitrol or naltrexone. They were educating me to take methadone and Suboxone whenever I reached out for help. I was educated to be put on something that caused further addiction, you know, that it was feeding the addiction. So I'm going to take a couple more, y'all, then I got to tend to my daughters. Let's see. TC says, how can I stop when my doctors keep me on Suboxone for 6 years and I don't want to live without it? Sad but true. You're going to have to send me a message, TC. We got to, again, lay out a plan and execute it. It might take a little time, but we can find a way, and I will help you do that. What's up, Chris Lewis? I just seen your call come through, and I'm going to get to it here in just a minute. I'm going to call you right back, Chris. As y'all can hear, my daughter's crying, man. I got to go. Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I love y'all. This has been a great discussion. If you have questions, send me a message at the top of the page. Go check out Blake over at the Liquid Recovery. And Patrick, go back and watch the rest of the video, Patrick. Kicking Suboxone is very hard, but I got to go get to my daughters, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.